Welcome to the Lean Lounge, a podcast brought to you by Lean Revisions. Please welcome your host, Jeff Gray.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Lean Lounge. My name's Jeff Gray, and I'm your host today. And today I have some awesome special guests. We have Austin and Joshua here, and they're with an organization called Credit Fix Joe. You guys are probably all wondering, we do lean operations management. And how do these two gentlemen use lean and optimize operations within that industry? So before Austin and Joshua jump on the show and introduce themselves, we've got a little something for you to tell you about who they are and what they do.
Austin and Joshua, co-founders of Credit Fix Joe, are a dynamic duo in the entrepreneurial world, driven by a shared passion for continuous improvement and innovation. Their journey together is a testament to resilience, family reunion, and the relentless pursuit of business excellence. Austin, an alumnus of University High School, began his professional career at Lakeland Village, where he worked for 5 years. A devastating house fire marked a challenging period in his life, but a life-changing reunion with his brother Joshua after 25 years of separation brought a renewed sense of purpose. Austin is now dedicated to growing their business, utilizing Lean Six Sigma principles to enhance efficiency and customer satisfaction. Joshua, a lifelong entrepreneur, launched his first business at the age of 17. He achieved significant success in 2007 with UpYourRide.com, a venture he eventually sold for a considerable profit. Despite personal challenges, including a divorce and a diagnosis of Crohn's disease, Josh's entrepreneurial spirit never wavered. Reuniting with Austin has been a pivotal moment in his life, allowing him to channel his passion for innovation and efficiency into their joint venture. Together, Austin and Joshua apply Lean Six Sigma methodologies to drive Credit Fix Joe forward, focusing on reducing inefficiencies and improving service. Their combined expertise and shared commitment to their business have not only strengthened their bond as brothers, but also positioned Credit Fix Joe as a leader in the industry. Their story is one of perseverance, innovation, and the transformative power of family.
So how are you guys doing today?
Great.
It's
morning.
We
got done at a networking event at
we had a 7:30 a.m. meeting, and then after that another meeting at the apartment complex regional manager, and then so it's been a great day. But that's kind of the life of us, is we're constantly planning everything in advance. Everything is scheduled. Everything is known. It's to me, it just gives me peace of mind knowing that I don't have to worry about the scheduling side of things when I just schedule in advance.
Credit Fix Joe. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do exactly. And then we'll get into like how you apply lean and all that. So, our listening audience, we're here to give them some nuggets of knowledge, the struggles, the challenges, those kind of things. So what do you guys do and how do you operate? What do you do?
Well, take a deep breath here. So I got quite the story. I mean, I've had 15, 17 businesses over the last 20 years. Mostly successful, some failures, but failures were only successes in that I learned lessons that I could reapply to other applicable areas of my life. This reconnection with my brother Austin has been truly an unbelievable life-changing moment. Not only did I find my person that thinks just like me, we're wired exactly the same, but I found someone that's got the heart that I have, the empathy, the structure, the caringness, the heart. I can't even sell that enough. Heart, it means so much when you're talking to people, whether it's a customer, future prospect, you, Jennifer, it doesn't matter who I'm talking to. I want you to know that I'm talking with from my heart, so that people know that you're real. The BS thing, people can breathe through that, read through that. Kind of got to stay away from that kind of stuff. But no, we just we were after we connected, we decided, what can we do that's timeless? Was kind of our word of choice. We had kind of some check phrases of things that were like, if it was this, it would be good. If it was that, it'd be good. If it was that, it'd be bad. So we could kind of quickly and easily take ideas and cross-check them against our checklist. And if it didn't pass, it fell off. So everything was about scalability. Everything was about not having employees for us personally. That's kind of that's our goal. We don't want any employees. So we do have 3 business partners. And as we grow, we'll bring in a 20% owner. CEO, owner, operator that'll eventually take over the organization, and we'll move on to the other ventures that we have planned that are kind of in the works right now.
Is that like a 1-year plan, a 3-year plan, or
about a 2-year plan? Actually, 24 months.
Really?
Yep.
So how long have you been in business now?
This has only been coming up on like 7 months, a year. It depends on what you consider in business. Well, we started. Well, we had a different name, and that launched for like 3 months, and then we ended up having to change our name because of some technical issues, which is fine. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. But let's take that for a second. Can we back up just on that? That's a
Sure,
perfect
sure.
example of using Six Sigma. So
Yeah.
everybody that's listening, I don't know if you guys have already had websites, already created domain names, or whatever your business name. But
Yeah.
when you start a business name, you have to first go to uspto.gov, make sure it's not trademarked, make sure that the copyright terms are clear. You have to do your homework, because you could go buy a domain and build a whole website like we did, and then find out, sorry, that name is already used, it's trademarked, and you're out.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
goodbye.
what happened to
So
you guys? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Smart.
3 months later, a full website rebuild. We already had graphics, we already had website, we already had sorry to
Wow.
say that, but business cards, signage, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Wow.
Everything. So everything had to change. So we got delayed. But we've been in business now, ready for business for like 4 months. We're bombarded. We have a lot of customers. We are absolutely making it like a heyday. We've been very blessed by a lot of good people around us, and I think people are sensing that we're really in it for the long run, really in it to help people. And I think
Right.
that's what people want to know for our industry. But that applies to every industry.
Yeah. If you're not genuine, you're not coming from the heart and passionate, then people could find that a mile away,
Yep.
and they'll tell their friends too that, these guys are not transparent. So, and not genuine.
Exactly.
Integrity is part of business, being genuine.
Oh man, right on point.
And I like what you said. You had a couple business things there. When you start out, definitely, check everything.
Well, I mean, you could contact the lawyer and have him do it, but you're going to spend $2,500 just to get a question answered. But all you really need to do, just go to uspto.gov, look up the search name that you're looking for, see if it's live or it's not live. Now, little gem, here's the gem in this. If it's the same industry, you have to be careful. If it's a different industry, you don't have to be careful, because trademark protects industry specific and name specific.
And I like the fact too is, when you go into business, you have to take it in steps. And
Yeah.
one of the things is overhead. Think about that overhead. You will bleed your revenue
Yes.
if you have overhead. Partnering, getting those connections, getting percent owners. Those are all ways to have capital to work with. Those are all lean operations. Those
Yeah.
are all things that, you look at your system end to end. Where do I have the revenue spend? Where do I have the revenue coming in? And how does it spread peanut butter across the industry and keep everybody happy? And, employees, taxes, all that stuff. People don't think about that overhead. And so that's what we do too, is a lot of, 1099 and overhead reduction and hire people to do something. And then, if you don't have the time or resources yourself. So how do you apply lean and your end-to-end operations? And
Well, just big picture. I mean, a long time ago, I was in the car business, and we had a trainer that came in and was big on the Six Sigma, and that's where I kind of got exposed to Six Sigma and the lean mentality, and it was already kind of I'm ADHD, so I think that's kind of partly built into our souls. If you're ADHD out there, we just multitask, and if you look at Six Sigma as a whole, it's all about efficiencies. It's all about making one thing. If you have to run one errand, how can you get two tasks done with one errand? There's a very simplistic example, but we literally, so I have a bunch of business experience. He doesn't. My brother, I love him dearly. I have a bunch of business experience, so I've been throwing so much on this poor guy. He's learned so much in the last year.
so how did you guys apply lean operations management to your organization? Can you tell us about how that kind of fits into what you do and how you operate from end to end?
So, if talking about efficiencies and overhead, that was the very first thing that I started talking with him about. Is overhead is your number one cost for the most part in a service type industry. So that's the number one thing. We had a few check phrases. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but one of them was keeping everything under control in a timely fashion so that it was scheduled. We knew exactly what was coming. But as far as how to apply it, I think that everything we did was digital. I think that helped a lot. Instead of printing everything and then going back and revising it, we were able to use digital versions of Word and PDFs and stuff to go back and forth and see incremental changes as we went, which really sped up the process drastically, because we didn't have to print something, put it in the inbox, wait for someone to come in on Monday, check, revise, red line, and put it back in the other person's inbox. So efficiency-wise, going digital, especially in today's day, makes so much sense. It saves so much time. So we've gone, but we've been doing it since day one. Day one is every single thing we've done. How can we do it better and faster?
Yeah, that's what it's all about is, being more efficient and just stepping back and analyzing, videotaping what you do or your people if you're a big organization too. So, and just putting dollars to it. When you actually put dollars to where are you bleeding your money? That's where you have an opportunity to improve. So that's what you want to be looking at too. So, what exactly do you do without? I know it's kind of proprietary what you do because you're dealing with people's credit and stuff, but what do you do exactly? You fix people's issues, problems?
Yeah, if you got a problem, we fix it. You got to act. No, I'm just kidding.
I love the name,
So I mean, in
Credit
our
fix
area,
Joe. So you got to fix something, Joe.
right? Well, Joe just kind of represents the average guy that needs representation. The average person doesn't have the feeling of someone in their corner the way that I feel like they should. So we're kind of advocates at the same time. We have a gal coming today. We're doing just a freebie, hooking her up because she's on disability. She's got $40 extra a month after her disability pay. What do you do with someone like that? You take care of them because it'll come back. That's just how it goes. Yep. So she's gonna show up as soon as this video is over. We're gonna be helping her out. But when we meet people, we help businesses and personal. So when we meet them, we can find out how they're operating right now. And then we have a few companies that use us as like a benefit for their employees as a potential. And then we have, and then real estate agents are really big on it because they'll pay for the credit repair for customers because they're going to make so much more in return. So it makes sense to pay 3 to 6 months of credit repair for $100 a month for them to get a $7,000 check. Did you have any words? I keep talking.
I think the biggest part of it too that I'd like to add is I look at it personally as more than just credit repair because we both put our heart into everything that we do. I look at it more as a journey with this client, with this person, say, what are your goals? What are your visions? Now, how do we help you get there? Credit happens to be the foundation. You have to have a strong foundation to build upon. And then from there, we get them to where they want to be because nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to see other people struggle.
And helping others feels great. That's the biggest thing in life, man. Helping others.
Back in return 100, 200.
And see what you guys are saying right there is that's a solid lean approach. You do your Gimbo walk, you do your assessment, you get your voice of the customer. Here's where we're at, and here's where I want to be.
Right. So
you build that roadmap from those inputs of where they are and where they want to be. And so you don't have the terminology, but
put a roadmap behind us. Got a roadmap behind us of our credit repair.
Yeah, exactly. So where are you on that path, and how do you get there? And that's a lot of people don't understand that. You need to assess where you're at.
Yes.
And then where do you want to be? When we work with clients, and then what is the process?
Yeah.
And it's consistency. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes, you start and stop, but you want to know where you're going. What's the ideal final result? IFR, what we call that.
Ideal final result. I like that.
IFR. You can have that one.
Final result, IFR. So can I
ideal final result. That's your target. Just like if you're, archery, hit the bullseye.
Yeah. I want that bullseye. Exactly. Target. So speaking of IFR, can I name drop? Am I allowed to name drop a writer?
Sure, definitely.
I mean, Stephen Covey, everybody here, if you're a business guy, you've probably already read Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, of course. There's a few things in there that I just took and they just soul ingrained in me. One of them is begin with the end in mind. And that's such a freaking impactful statement to me because it's exactly what we're talking about, Jeff. Instead of coming into a situation, getting halfway in and then we need to make a plan now. Maybe you're already too far in. You need to back up. You need to make a plan. You need to figure out where the end result's going to be before you even get your feet wet. So, I mean, everything you do costs money. If you spend time on something, you're wasting money. So you need to make it as efficient as possible. I don't care if it's research. I don't care if it's sitting in front of a potential client or your banker. That is wasted money, wasted time. Every second matters. So schedule everything and stay on top of your schedule. Sorry, off track.
No, that's good. I mean, that's what this is all about is scheduling. A couple of things you just said there, the same thing I was saying, ideal final result. And I always tell people too, pilot, test what you're doing. So if you have a nugget of knowledge for anyone in any industry to take away from, starting a business, running a business, challenges, how you approach them, what kind of nugget of knowledge? I always like to have people share some insight, so something that you guys have done that other people out here listening to us can go, hey, that might work for me.
Sure. Do you have anything you want to start with? I'll finish.
Well, for me, from my perspective, being new to business, my thing would be learn as much as you can, soak everything up, make connections, be friendly, and just don't give up. Anybody who has a business, hit those spots where you feel like you hit a wall. And I like to think in my mind that if you have that feeling like you hit a bump in the road, you're doing the right thing. Just keep going.
Exactly.
If you give up and turn around, you're never going to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
But if you push right on through, that's the key to success, is to never give up.
That's very good. Yeah, never, because a lot of people do. They hit a bump in the road. They, financing is running thin. They run scared and they do bad things, make bad decisions. This is my third business. I've been an employee and I'd rather be an employer. But there are peaks and valleys, there's challenges, and you're right. Just keep moving forward and have a plan, at least a flexible, rigidly flexible, as Steve, our colleague, says. That's very good, especially at a young age.
Well, and set goals too. Set your immediate goals and then set your long-term goals.
Early. But I mean, we had that conversation before business was even a thing. Like, I needed to know what motivated him. So in those down trough moments, I had a moment where I could say, hey, remember your kid? We're working because of blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, that's right. Boom, firelights under his butt. And then he gets back in action. So, I mean, that's kind of what it's about, is you got to find out what your motivating factors are too. For me, my family is everything to me. I have a couple children and a beautiful wife, and she takes care of me so well. And I feel like I don't give enough back, even though I do everything in my heart to give to her. She works so hard for the family. She's 10 to 1 me, for real. And she's amazing. So having a good support system is everything. But overall, just finding out what motivates you and getting that written down first, knowing what your goals are. I mean, and I'm not saying like, I'm not saying just like think in your head, like, oh, I want a nice car, I want a nice house. Like, really think about what your goals are. Like, print out a picture of what car you want and tape it up on your wall above your bed. Print out a picture of the house you want and tape it up on the wall above your bed. So when you wake up every morning, you're thinking about what I want to do with my life is that. Where am I at right now? Not there. What do I have to do to get there? This, and this. I can do that because I want that bad enough. When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll make a change. Another quote is, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll make a difference. And finance is everything in this world. If you're not in control of your finances and your credit as a foundational basis, and you're not in control of your budget, and you're not in control of where every dollar is spent, and you don't have a process in mind of how you revise things as you go day by day, you're not going to necessarily be there as fast as you could be. Just being efficient is key. So looking at everything you do and how can I do it faster? How can I do it easier? How can I do it with someone else's assistance? Those are really, really key important values. So,
and that's very important, because the higher up you go in an organization, at a bigger organization, you lose sight of that.
Yeah.
In smaller organizations, you feel the dollars and cents.
Yeah.
In a big corporation, it's harder to feel the dollars and cents. They're looking at reports and, the line and the forecast, and they yell at the salespeople or whatever, or they lay the workforce off. That's what gives you that peaks and valleys and that inconsistency. And that's why I think leadership too needs to really do what their people do, understand where they're bleeding money.
Oh, yes.
And, feel it, understand it, be out there. When I go in organizations, I have the C-suite and leaders. If it's a, big company, even if it's 50 people or less, go do the work you have your people doing.
Absolutely. How is that not a normal? Like, how do you help them be more efficient if you're not doing what they're doing? How can you empathize if you don't know where they're coming from?
Yep.
I mean, 100%. I don't care if it's cleaning a toilet or talking to some big banker. It doesn't matter. You have to know where they're coming from.
Do the work, and that's where you're seeing what's costing and how it operates and how you can become more efficient. And then when you'll listen to your folks more too. When you're, a smaller organization, you're doing everything. You are the guy cleaning the toilet. You are the janitor, and you are the banker. You're the accountant. You're the sales rep. You're the IT guy. Yeah. Until you bring those people on, you're, the website guy. So
my first business was I was 17, and it definitely shouldn't have happened just because I wasn't legally able to sign a lease. But I had a friend that was 18, and he decided he'd partner with me, and he would let me run the show and just kind of be there off scenes. And we did a cell phone accessory booth, and this was like 97 in a mall, $500 a month rent. And it just comes down to one thing: like, you have to eventually. I don't care. I'm an introvert, 100,000%. It doesn't seem like it. Maybe I'm 100,000% introvert. I don't want to talk to people. I really don't. But I was raised on my own from 15 on. And from that point, I kind of had to learn how to be a people person. And it was a blessing. It was absolutely a blessing. But at the same time, the one thing that people want to know is that you're real. There can't be any sense of BS coming out of your mouth. It can't sound slag. It can't be swagger. There's a thing where there's a silver tongue, and then you're almost like completely. Yeah. So you got to find that happy medium where people know that you're real, and they'll work harder for you when they know you're real and you're trying and you're really trying to grow your business, and they feel the genuosity coming out of you. They're going to help.
Yeah, and engage them and ask them and really care what their needs are. Two things you just reminded me of. When I was early starting to work in corporations and stuff, it was a very hierarchy, very structured, and it was mean. In some cases, managers were mean. And now it's a lot different. You can't get people to work in organizations like that now. They'll quit. And I remember when I was 9 years old, 10 years old, we moved up here from California, and everybody up here skied. So I told my dad I wanted some skis, and he gave me a lawnmower.
Right?
He says, "Go buy your skis with the lawnmower." I was like, "What?"
That's awesome.
So, and one of the things I did, I would cut lawns for $4 a lawn.
Wow.
And my friends were like, "What are you doing, man? What's going on, Jeff?" And one of my friends, I'd give him $1 to help me. So I was making $4, gave him one, kept three. And that was business at 9 years old.
That's it. Yeah.
And, started from there. Awesome.
Yeah, I relate with that. I had my first lawn mowing business when I was 16. And
yeah.
So, yep.
For everybody out there, you could let someone else control your life, or you can take control of your life. And the difference is you having the ability in your mind to think, I can do it. There's so many challenges. I don't care what industry it is. Every industry has an in. You can make contacts, you can make connections. But if your attitude isn't positive 100% through starting to finish, it won't shine. It won't resonate.
They can tell if you're not, true.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, you guys are gonna have to come back on, and when I'm over that way, I'll probably do one remote with you guys too, because there's a lot of things that we only have 20-30 minutes on this podcast to give some nuggets, apply operations, and tell your stories, your journey, depending on what you do. If you wrote a book, if you own a small business, if you're a corporate leader, you're running Microsoft or whatever. I mean, everyone has a story and everyone has knowledge to transfer, and that's what we're all about is and we're going to start having audiences in here too who can ask questions. So we'll definitely have you guys back on and some of the challenges. How do you fix credit? What if I want to start a business and my credit's 600? I need a loan. How do I do that?
That's a huge one. You have to have better credit than normal to have to start a business with business loans. Man, Jeff, thanks for having us, man. We really appreciate it. I hope I gave you guys some nuggets out there. I got a lot in my head. I just don't know how to shake them out exactly. If there's more specific questions, I think it could be a little more prominent in the industry type. But overall, man, what you're doing, Jeff, is fantastic. I look forward. We're going to watch a podcast every day personally. We'd love to be part of it. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And give yourself a plug here. What's your website? And give us, the company name, phone number, contact info.
If you're interested, it's creditfixjoe.com. And our phone number is 509-342-7775. And we just really like to help people and just do everything with our heart. We want to see people succeed. Literally, that's our end goal, is help others succeed, and in doing so, succeed ourselves.
Awesome. So one more thing, are you guys around the country? Can you help people in other states too, or is it?
Right now, it's just Washington. But as we grow, yes, we hope to help people throughout the country. Now,
we're about to expand it. We're about to expand in Idaho. We just got a bunch of Idaho real estate agents that are going to have us kind of programmed with their estates where they pay for the credit repair for clients, kind of thing, in certain situations. So we just got a nice plug on that this morning. So that's phenomenal. We got 250 realtors. We're going to be presenting that to you in like a week. So that's connections, man. Just meet people, constantly meet people. We're an alignable group. I don't know if anybody out there is alignable. ALIGNABLE. Alignable is like networking on steroids with no cost. You get a profile, you can talk about your business, you can network with people. It's got AI that connects you with great contacts.
Yep.
It's a great source to get some support and to find some basic go-tos for assistance. Because you meet these people firsthand, you're not just walking to someone's store, you're getting a referral. So you usually get a better deal, you get a better experience, you get a handshake right off someone else, you're not cold walking in. So just overall networking, man, is everything. Network really does play into Six Sigma drastically. It opens your mind.
Yeah. It tells your people if you're genuine or not, and if you can work with them, and if you can partner.
Sure.
That's what it's all about. Partnering.
Yeah.
Think about a couple hundred years ago or 1,000 years ago, people bartered. Your service for my service, and everybody ate.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
All right, so we are going to close now. I told you guys before I could talk to you forever. So we'll do it in segments over time. We'll put that roadmap together. Every month, every 3 months, we'll check back in or something. So that'd be great.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
And to the audience out there, this is Jeff Gray with the Lean Lounge. And you can reach us for your lean operations management at leanrevisions.com. And if you're watching us on video, thank you, Richard, for putting up our website there, leanrevisions.com. Contact us if you need any help with any kind of operations management stuff. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks,
Sounds good.
everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jeff.
For more information on today's show or to become a sponsor, visit leanrevisions.com. Join the virtual studio audience by emailing podcast@leanrevisions.com for tickets. Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X. This podcast is hosted by Jeff Gray, produced and edited by Make Your Day Richer.